Welcome back to the Mom Curious podcast. My name is Daniella Rabbani. I am your happy and humble host. And I really enjoyed this conversation with Tina Cartwright and want to give you a little bit of background on her. She is Rebranding Motherhood on Instagram. And she's just not just that. She's rewriting the rules of how brands show up for moms. As the founder of Rebranding Motherhood, Tina leads the go-to agency for companies looking to build authentic, unfiltered, and powerfully resonant connections with modern mothers. A powerhouse marketer and former Fortune 50 sales leader, Tina spent over 16 years at Procter & Gamble shaping billion-dollar brands like Pampers, Olay, and Gillette. So today, she brings that same global rigor to the maternal space, blending corporate strategy with culture-shifting storytelling. In just 6 months, she scaled Rebranding Motherhood from a passion project to a 70,000-strong global movement. Now she advises startups, legacy brands, and healthcare leaders on how to show up for the motherhood economy with relevance, respect, and realness. Through bold campaigns, culturally fluent messaging, and community-first mindset, Tina is building a new standard for what maternal marketing should be. Inclusive, informed, and radically honest. She's not just amplifying voices, she's changing the conversation entirely. Tina says brands don't need to talk at moms, they need to build with them. That's what we do. And it is what we do in this conversation. I had the best time with her. We get to talk about her health challenges and how she was able to overcome them and the glorious ascent that is motherhood. As always, this season and everything moving forward is dedicated to my sister, Ariana Rabbani Rappaporte, and I ask that you do an act of kindness in her honor today. Enjoy the episode. Good formula.
I just
American formula.
Post on something the other day talking about like just shaming people for formula and saying that like no one should ever use formula ever and there's no need for it. And I'm like, what?
What about the foster kids?
That part.
What about the adoptive children?
Yes.
What about mental health and physical health?
What if like my milk supply goes away?
What if
I'm forced back to work and I just can't and it just stops and it dries up, or I want to travel because I want to like be a human and like do things that inspire me, and I need my partner to like deal with it, and I didn't pump enough because I'm not making enough to pump and do it. So like
I think what we're really talking about is like destigmatizing the shame
that part
of like each one of us has to make a decision.
Yes.
Over and a million decisions in a day.
Millions.
Over and over and over again.
Yes.
And no one's ever trying to hurt our own kids.
No. I was just with Paige from the Motherhood Center, one of the co-founders of the Motherhood Center.
Good for you. I mean, really?
People. These are, I'm like
you
deep
have
in
such
it. People
good
don't know
people.
how deep I'm in. But I'm like, this was what was so cool about last night was I finally got on the stage I've deserved to be on. This whole time I've been building this brand. And it was this crazy moment where everybody was like, damn.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And I feel that way about Tina Cartwright being right here at the Mom Curious HQ.
We're here.
Lucky me. I can't believe we fell in love at the Doula Expo, actually.
We did. We fell deeply in love shortly after our prom photo. Which is like how it happens in high school too, right?
I mean, it's a different kind of love. But
fair.
But
very fair.
I will say, I know you more as a friend because we had such a good time that day. And like, I directed you in this wonderful, like little short episode of the Twin Mama podcast. You guys should check that out after
this one.
Because you're going to want to know a lot more about Tina after this. This is just an hour taste of your brilliance, your shimmer, your shine. Every single room you walk into, you light up. You come at it full force.
Full force. I don't have time to not be myself anymore. I've spent a lifetime of not knowing who I was. And then when I thought I knew who I was in corporate America, that was too much for people.
Personality-wise?
Personality-wise, assertiveness-wise, confident-wise, fashion-wise, all of me-wise. And after
you are so wise.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
And when I became a mom, I said, fuck that. I need to be my full self because I cannot show up in motherhood how I need to show up. and literally break the generational trauma of how I was raised and how I was born without embracing my full self. So now I just have to do it.
Tell me, who are you
Who's
today?
Tina?
Who is Tina today?
What
We
a
are
question.
here to celebrate all that you are and all that you're becoming.
Thank
so
you.
let's get at it.
Let's get at it. I mean, I'm a mom. I am a mom of two amazing humans, as you are as well. I am a brander. I am a founder. I am a storyteller. I'm a creative director. I'm an artist. I feel like I have good taste.
Such good taste.
And I'm ready to share it with the world. But really, where my heart and soul comes in is building community and also supporting moms who are trying to build their own community and helping them brand, helping them elevate, helping them launch their businesses.
So we have a lot of influencers, business leaders, community leaders who listen to this podcast.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for them to start taking some notes with you. This is something that you've been like laying the foundation for years. How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 6, so she'll be 7 in October. But yeah, she's 6, which is wild. My husband said on Mother's Day this year, he was like, Tina, do you know this is your 6th Mother's Day?
It's crazy. It's like you're 6, because when a baby is born, a mother is born.
Exactly.
Especially that first one. I actually found that it is true the second time around also.
Oh, I totally shifted, but I didn't expect it the second time.
Yeah, me either.
Second time, I thought I just was like gonna rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And then motherhood slapped me down on the ground. It was like, no, you're also transforming again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
So that first professional transformation from corporate America into this rebranding motherhood, which is your sort of signature business, your mission.
Yeah, my business.
When did that start?
So this happened, gosh, I had been building billion-dollar brands at Procter & Gamble as a classically trained brand marketer for over 16 years, and then realized I needed to shift and transition. So I did do a quick stint in startup because I wanted to just be exposed to that space. I wanted to get closer to like fundraising, the different stages of raising capital, just what that was like. And then as all startups kind of are, they're a little tumultuous. And so I got to be a free agent maybe a little sooner than I thought. And with that, I was left to do whatever I wanted. And I happened to be a consulting producer on a docuseries in development all about motherhood and the real 4th trimester.
Oh, wow.
And
you were a mom at this point?
And I was a mom at this point. And my DP, director of photography for those non-film people on the
camera guy.
On the camera guy, the camera guy, said to me, what do you want to do for this series? And I was like, wait, I can do whatever I want. She was like, yeah, girl. And I was like, I want to rebrand motherhood. And so she literally said to me in that moment, then go do it. Just go do it. And I was like, wait, the patriarchy, I can't do it by myself. She's like, no, honey, go off and do this and build this dream. And so having somebody believe in me in that moment was just the spark that I needed. And then I literally transitioned my personal Instagram page. I had like 200 followers, like creepy ex-boyfriend, weird college roommate, like type of, audience.
They're still there.
They're still there, hiding, lurking, but now there's way less people. I don't have to look at them.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And then I quickly grew to over 70,000 followers in less than 6 months.
Wow.
And
when
so
was this?
This was at the height of it. So I think I've been building this brand for like about a year and a half now. So maybe like a year and a half ago.
Oh my God.
So I'm just like at the start. But before I came into it, I knew I could make an impact. I'm one of those people where I guess in the human design, I'm a manifesting generator.
Yeah, me too.
Love it. Not surprised. Not surprised at all.
Obviously.
And
if you told me you were a Virgo also, I'd be like,
there you go.
But
I'm a Taurus.
You're a Taurus. Okay, I know nothing about Taurus.
Yes. Anybody that knows a Taurus, I am probably like the definition of the Taurus, I think.
The bull?
A bull. Yeah, definitely a bull.
Okay.
And so I forgot what I was.
Well, you had grown. We only went around back a year and a half, and by 6 months, you had grown to 70,000 followers. Rebranding motherhood. And so, what was so cool to me in that moment was in corporate America, like. It was just really always this challenge for what I felt like was my superpower and my inner brilliance and what I could deliver of like, if it would fit in the corporate process. Like, did we test it enough? Did we ask people enough? Like, I am so intuitive
Like that is just something I have in me. And I just have a gut feeling. And I had a gut feeling about rebranding that like this needed to happen. And so to have that like approval of the people, like instant like stamp of yes, Tina, we get it, was so empowering as somebody that was in this space of like, no, Tina, you do know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You do have a unique way of authentic storytelling and connecting with moms. Go.
And
Run.
you're wwonderful on camera. So it's so interesting to hear that you were like behind the scenes. I'm shocked to hear that actually. I could see you like being like a little dancer growing up or something.
Yes.
Were you?
I was in dance for many years.
Okay, not a Virgo, but a dancer.
But a dancer.
Okay, got it.
I was a dancer.
Yeah, I could so see that for you, like being a performer, that like you're so natural on camera. That's not everyone has that, you know. Not everyone feels that.
I feel so comfortable. I feel like when I hear, I am not a Cher or Britney Spears or any of these like whatever big celebrities that hit big stages, but when they talk about this like calm and this like grounding thing that happens when you get in those moments, like that is what I would always feel. And I'd get little tiny tastes of that in corporate America, but still very like controlled, like in a controlled space. And so that has been very fulfilling to get to do that in my own terms.
So many people that I interview have that pivot, that transition from the corporate life or really any career that they did pre-child.
Yes.
You know, I think like that happens in motherhood quite a lot, but it does feel like a great training ground.
Oh, 100%.
Like you learned quite a lot, didn't you?
I learned an infinite amount.
Give us some cliff notes so that we can implement some of your genius.
Yes. Now, genius of just like lessons learned in motherhood or lessons learned in motherhood that have applied to being a founder and a builder?
I am actually really curious how your corporate America job influenced how you go about being an entrepreneur now.
Oh, okay. I love this question.
It's different structure, but I do think it's a training ground, right?
It is a training ground. And this is what I feel like is my unique point of differentiation of what I offer with my consulting firm, RM Consulting, with my clients, is that there's so many people in this space doing marketing and social media. I can't even say with a straight face, y'all. Like, it's kind of laughable. And they're charging people thousands and thousands of dollars, these founders, these startups and whatnot. And what's really missing is this operational discipline of the fundamentals, how to have systems, how to have a structured strategy that carries forth and that's scalable, how to have a long-term vision, not just how your strategy is going to be executed within 1 year, but how that's going to flow and unravel over year 2, over year 3, and really set you up for the future vision of your brand.
Wow.
And so those fundamentals, and then too, just the rigor and the understanding of how to take what we call the sales fundamentals, which is distribution, pricing, shelving, and merchandising, which was like my bread and butter, and doing that with Walmart, Target, CVS, calling on the biggest retailers in the globe, and being able to take these established brands has almost been like, I feel like an unfair advantage, because trying to move the landscape for $1 billion brand that's been around in some cases for over hundreds of years is super difficult. So being able to know how to have those fundamentals to actually do that on that scale, and then to come and apply that to a startup brand or a newer brand, the results have been exponential for my clients, like absolutely exponential.
You work with products or you work with people?
Both.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have some clients. One of my clients I love working with is Carriage House Birth.
Oh, yeah.
Here local in the city. They're amazing,
they're
doing amazing work. And so that's like a service, kind of like a product. I work with a lot of founders that are building up brands. I'm working with another company called Mother of Fact, which has this really cool app that actually supports doctors in the healthcare system and offers them full registered dietitians and supports just for pregnant women, because literally malnutrition is one of the leading causes of death for new and expecting mothers, just being malnourished, which can then lead into gestational diabetes, high blood pressure and hypertension, and then all of these residual issues. So this app is a really cool one because it actually supports the doctors in the medical system that they're already in, which is really restricted. They don't have a lot of extra time, but it can offer this additional scope of support to moms that need it, and it's saving lives. So just like a couple of people that I get to work with.
And creators as well, or no?
And creators too. And like, really, yeah, definitely creators. But it's so funny because people sometimes confuse me for a creator.
I thought you were.
Yeah.
When I first met you, also because of your like gorgeous personality, your fashion sense, your way, you know, and your ease on camera, I immediately thought you were a creator also. But I guess that helps you talk to the client in a way because you understand the creator landscape because you get.
Yes, you 100% get it. Like, really what I like to tell like my clients is that Rebranding Motherhood is my living, breathing portfolio. If you want receipts on how to authentically storytell to moms and you want to see my metrics for engagement, for how meaningful and how that lands, go check my page out. Because there's so many people that are doing this and they have no receipts for being able to talk to moms or to be in the maternal space, to have a unique narrative, to have a unique tone of voice.
Wow.
And so to me, that's really how I've focused that community. And then, of course, I'm building resources and building education and supporting moms. But really, I feel like a creator is just like part of it. But I have to deliver that to my clients. So it helps to be able to live and breathe that.
I think many of us do. It's like, okay, so I'm a podcast host and I'm an actor and I'm a director, but I do think that the living, breathing portfolio is just the world we live in. 100%. It's Instagram today, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's LinkedIn, but it's got to live somewhere.
100%.
It could be your website, but I think the living, breathing part is important, and we don't know how many people check out your website. We actually don't even know how many people listen to a podcast. So I do think that like being a creator is part of the job. I mean, that is the marketing arm of any business, right?
Yes. And if you're not doing it, you're behind. And the founders that are faking it hurts to watch you. It hurts to experience your brands. It's not enabling you to deliver all of your objectives of your product or your service or the help you're trying to put out in the world. And so that's really kind of my unique creative process that I deliver to my clients, is really taking that operational discipline that I've got, that like those fundamentals from corporate America, and helping you to apply that, create that, and translate that into your business, with social being at the helm of how we communicate out, like of how we deliver the marketing.
So when we talk about communicating to mothers, you have a really particular voice and desire and goal, and I want to hear more about that. How do you think mothers ought to be spoken to if they're the target demographic?
Okay, well, this is a very simple answer.
Oh.
I think. So to me, you have to talk with moms. It's that simple. There's a million ways that can come to life. There's a million ways we can bring that to life for a different brand. But so many brands are talking at moms. They're talking to them as if their experience is this isolated experience. It's disconnected from reality. It's disconnected to what moms are experiencing. It's perpetuating the sanitized imagery. I talk a lot about eradicating sanitized imagery with Rebranding Motherhood. So many brands are perpetuating that. They're assuming that, motherhood should be easy. They're assuming that motherhood isn't messy. They're assuming that motherhood isn't literally an unhinged fucking 18-year journey and experience.
I mean, and beyond, it's like millennia, like I always think about motherhood as like it started way before we got here, and it'll keep going way after we're gone.
100%.
Don't you experience that with your ancestors?
Yes.
And we're someone's ancestors.
Right?
Yes.
It's going to be continued. I mean, like you said, we have been mothering as a species for millennia. And so I think that is really the difference, and that's really the disconnect that a lot of brands get caught up in. And then they also have a complete lack of understanding of authenticity and how to bring that to life in a way that's relevant to modern moms. And I think the third thing I'll add in there is that they are not representative of the unique, dynamic diaspora that is motherhood. The different looks and feels, the different economic starting places, the different way families come together.
The neurodivergence,
yes.
The different opinions,
yes.
The different goals.
Yes, the different places of children and where, like different health issues.
How many children?
Right, all of these pieces.
How they got to this world.
100%.
I mean, this is the thesis of Mom Curious. It's just like, it's not a one size fits all.
No.
experiment. It is so not. It's dynamic.
It's so dynamic.
It's beautiful and messy. It's delicious to me.
Yes.
To me, experiencing it and witnessing it for others. But you're right that I don't think that the brands that tell our stories, except for Frida, I will say.
That's where it's obvious, is the brands that get it stand to the all cream rises to the top. Like, who said it? Wu-Tang?
I don't know.
I don't
bless
know.
that quote.
Yeah. Like $dollar bills, y'all. Anyways, but yes, the brands that get it really control the narrative in the space.
And they feel like they get me. Even if, let's say, like, right? Like if I didn't have a tear in my birthing experience. But if you're talking about it, then I know that like whatever was going on for me in breastfeeding, whatever was going on for me in my kid's booger situation, whatever was going on for me, that you're there for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is what moms need. That's why I really emphasize that with, because moms need people with them. We need community with us. We need people to educate with us. We need people to help us to advocate for ourselves and for other mothers. We need people to stand alongside us, because the number one thing I hear from any mom I've ever talked to is this theme of isolation.
Yeah.
It's so real. It's so constant. Even when you're having a good day, like isolation's always around the corner. And so I think that's the difference maker.
We touched on your professional pivot, but I'm curious, like there's always going to be a beating heart to whatever we do in the professional realm. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I can feel it from you. Like that, when you talk about motherhood and wanting community and wanting someone to speak to you and to know you and to understand you and to not sanitize your very real, very raw experience.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances of your becoming a mother and being a mom in those early days?
Yeah. I mean, I say this sometimes, but I think I say this a lot. But one of the things I've never experienced as a Black woman in America is walking into a room and not feeling other. Even in the best of places. Like, it's just, we've had a long, complicated history in this country. But that all changed when I became a mother. And something that has been so beautiful is watching this almost like I'm trying to think, like cellular connectivity that is an instantaneous thing that happens when moms come together.
That bond.
You know what I'm saying? You could be on the train.
I feel it with you.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I feel it with most mothers, but I feel it very strongly with you. Yeah.
Thank you. But right, like people might think we've known each other for 15 years. And that's the beauty of it. It like speeds it past. It's like the Matrix. Like we get these like instant uploads and downloads
I always
of
say
each
that
other.
When my son was born, I felt like the Matrix had opened up. Like, oh shit, this is what we're doing.
This is it.
This is what life is. This is what life has been the whole time.
The whole time. And I didn't really know it was there for me. And so getting that taste as someone that like grew up with a lot of trauma, and despite how I look and present, like I was a big old nerd. And
the nerd part I see.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Because you're smart.
Thanks, girl.
Yeah. I also look at my son and he and his friends are such nerds, and I'm like,
yes, because nerds are cool.
Nerds are
okay,
cool.
We do cool shit like while we're young
change
and when
the
we get
world.
older. Yes.
Like Rebrand Motherhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And so it was that like nugget that changed everything for me and said, I got to do this for more moms. Because we are literally like the superheroes of the planet. Like the things that moms can do and the things that mothers and birthing people have within them and the potential. I mean, you see some of the coolest shit that's been created and designed. You gave an example, Frida. I know Chelsea. Like, she's delivered incredible innovation because she became a mom. It just unlocks this like parallel universe for you. I wanted to create a space that really holds moms because there is such a traumatic experience coming into motherhood. Whether your birth was great or not great, whether you had an outcome from your birth that was expected or unexpected, whether your postpartum experience unraveled like you wanted to, there's so much pain, there's so much struggle, there's such a lack of understanding of our own bodies, our cycles, menopause, perimenopause. My friend Abby Epstein just told me I'm in perimenopause. I didn't know.
It's all before menopause.
Girl.
Is perimenopause.
We're 35 in
and
this
we're
thing.
also postpartum.
Yes.
Like we're just we had babies. I mean, I had a baby 5.5 years ago, but like that's still.
It's raw still.
It's still, I mean, we'll always be postpartum.
Forever.
And anyway, it's a very interesting experience. But you mentioned trauma. But the trauma of before and after having a baby. And sometimes and for the most part, trauma is bad. Yeah. But no matter what, you will never be the same after that event.
No, you grow. It's growth. It's literally this catalyst of growth. Like if you could plot, it'd be like that little zigzag graphic of like a bar, like a little line chart. I mean, that's like how it happens.
This is her nerd coming.
This is my nerd coming out. Okay,
she's giving us
nerdling out. Okay, like I'm doing.
She's giving us metrics. She's giving us numbers. She's giving it. She's never not going to give it.
I'm not.
I need you to know that about Tina. Yeah.
Thanks for seeing me.
Oh yeah. You know what's beautiful? You know what's really cool is that you allow yourself to be seen.
Took a lot of work. I think it was so much pain of like not showing up like that and not being able to do that. And then as a mom, like you're raw, like there's no more hiding anymore. So I just had to lean all the way in.
Can you tell me more about that on like the personal?
Sure.
Like how was the fertility journey? How was the birth? How is it for Tina? Not as Tina, the leader of your community, but as like a human. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love this question because, I had a crazy journey. So before we had kids, I had this crazy health scare where I almost died. And so basically this is like a whole separate piece it's not supportive of the healthcare system and highlights the systematic racism and oppression that happens in the healthcare system. But essentially I was having these crazy issues with my stomach. And so you all see me now. Imagine me 20 pounds lighter.
No.
Girl, I was vomiting and like couldn't hold anything in.
If you're on audio,
sick.
She's thin.
I'm like a little beanie. I finally got hips and curves from the baby.
Oh, wow.
Celebrating.
Wow.
I was like celebrating because I've just always had like a high metabolism and just whatever.
But 20 pounds less, that's not good.
Girl. And so my mother-in-law actually was the one who was like, Tina, you're not well and you don't look healthy. And so I had been all the places. I lived in Boston. I'd been to all the best doctors. I had been to all the best places. I at one point during this 5-year journey, we had moved to Minneapolis. So I'd been to the like Mayo Clinic there that they have. Literally had been everywhere. And they're just like, take fiber. You have IBS. Okay, that bullshit. I'm so glad people are not talking about IBS so much anymore. I used to like really remember that time where like
everyone had IBS.
Remember anything was wrong with you. It was like, oh, it's IBS, and then they said it's
depression
IBS
and anxiety.
Yes, these masking of these umbrella diagnoses,
which is real for some people, but not all.
Exactly,
just not all of us.
It's not really what's happening for every single person,
and it wasn't what was happening for you,
and it wasn't what was happening for me, and I was literally wasting away. And so there was this moment where I had this like realization. I was super privileged at the time. I had a big corporate job, which means you get all the golden handcuffs that come along with that fucking stress and control. So I had great healthcare and I lived in Boston. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting out of the system where they'd like just pass you on to another provider, pulling myself fully out. And then I literally became my own person. So I went and did my own research on Google. Decided and this is before chat. I probably would have been even more fierce if I had fucking AI, but I didn't.
I just started using ChatGPT.
Oh, that is my that's probably an unhealthy relationship with my chat.
My friend actually told me recently. She was like, I was telling her, I was like, Melissa, ChatGPT really gets me. And she goes, Daniella, you be careful with that.
Oh.
She's like, people get in these weird relationships with their AI.
Yes.
I have not started dating my AI, but
good.
Also because apparently it's not great for the environment. So I try to use it sparingly. Did you not know this?
No, tell me more.
It dehydrates the earth because it uses so much electricity and energy to process that quickly that you ought to use it, a little sparingly if you can.
Sparingly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Earth.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You didn't know
that sparingly, but now I know. I'll be a little bit more responsible. I'll try to be more responsible because I love Earth. But I live in Maine, so I feel like I'm a big recycler. We compost.
Oh, you're doing great.
So maybe it offsets my.
I do
emissions.
think we have to do the best we can, and we do. We said this in our cold open about formula, but I believe this about medication, and I believe this about technology. Like, everything in moderation.
Yes.
Everything in moderation.
Everything
and
in moderation.
there is no good without bad, and there's no bad without good. And we have to just accept that we're always going to be walking this tightrope.
Yes.
Always. With everything.
Love that. Like the little quote from Vanilla Sky, the sweet isn't as sweet without the bitter.
Oh, that's from Vanilla Sky.
Well,
that
maybe not the original quote, but that's where I heard it.
I love that so
Yes.
much. It freaks me out when I watch that movie. When
That
I was a
movie's
kid,
crazy.
I was like,
I don't know how that movie would perform.
It really
in
made me
today's
feel
society.
high.
Yes, I was like,
I was a
where
child.
am I?
And literally, where
Yeah.
am I? What
What's
am
going
I?
on? Is this real? Is this
But
a
I will
dream?
say that I did have that experience being a first-time mom. Also, I was like, there's a human growing inside of me, and like, whoa, you also grew inside a woman,
Right.
And then those strangers down there. Whoa, that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people up in there.
Yeah.
It's like kind of magical power.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So now back to you.
Yes, so I went through this crazy health scare. I was basically wasting away. I was super, super sick. And then I just took it in control of my own hands. And so I went online. I literally scoped out my own doctor. Shout out to Dr. Brian Clark. Love him.
Thank you.
Yale graduate. I literally got all the credentials I wanted. Went and saw him. I'll never forget it. My first appointment, there was a lump, like probably the size of my fist, that he felt, just like in the physical examination. And from that moment on, he never stopped. I mean, I'm getting emotional because it was just such a like reclamation from how I'd been treated and passed along in the healthcare system prior to that. But he listened to me when I said, I'm not well, I don't feel okay. And he kept testing and testing and testing.
You deserve that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's how you deserve to be treated all the time.
Thank you. We all do.
We all do.
We all deserve to be well. We all deserve to be healthy, mentally, physically, all of it.
And heard.
And heard, I should have had tissues. I brought tissues in my purse. I knew I was going to start
We
crying.
could get tissues. Love you so much.
I'm sorry. We're busting up the camera scene here.
You're not busting.
Thank you, my love.
This is
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the origin story of Rebranding Motherhood.
This is my origin story.
This is it.
110%.
Yeah, and making sure that other women
Hear
feel
this.
heard, and also women of color. I mean,
Deeply, because we often get left and lost and forgotten in the healthcare system, and we lose a lot of us as a result. And so through this journey, like Dr. Brian Clark listened, and I'll never forget it. After we'd done so many tests, I'd been poked and prodded for maybe like 8 weeks because, just they have to test all this different shit. After I finally had the CT scan where they put you in the
I thought it was an
tube.
MRI.
Is that where you go
you're
in the
in the
thing
tube.
and you're like laying down? Okay, so it was an MRI.
Yeah, it could
And
also
so-
be a CT scan. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
For me, it was an MRI.
MRI.
Yeah.
So like they put me in the thing and they see your whole body. You have to drink the liquid and it like goes through your whole shit. And he calls me and I remember my husband was in the shower. It was like 9 a.m. one morning. And he says to me, Tina, we finally figured out what's wrong with you. And you have a 19 centimeter mass in your body. And we don't know if it's cancerous or not. And sadly, because of the jurisdiction of healthcare, he was a gastroenterologist. And where my masses were located, they were down in my reproductive area. And so he's like, sorry, but you're going to have to, here's what's going to happen, but you're going to have to actually connect with an OBGYN who can assess this, deal with this, set up your surgery, and all this stuff. And I just remember having to go in there and tell my husband, it's just really fucked up. But after all that happened, I had an amazing doctor.
The OB.
The OB. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with my OB. I'm obsessed. So
Because this good doctor
he was amazing. I mean, literally
handed you off to another good doctor.
Exactly. So he was like, here's who's in our network at this hospital.
And he was sensitive to the fact that you had been dicked around for a long time, and he didn't want that for you.
He didn't want that for me. I mean, he was so amazing. And so I went to...
Send this to him.
I've got to send this to Dr. Wachowski. I love you, Dr. Daniel Wachowski. You are so amazing. He knows this. I'm super close with him and his wife.
Good.
And his family, because he's in my life deeply. And he's an amazing doctor. He actually trained in the inner cities. And so he is so well aware of all these different things. And I remember when I called his front office and I was just so skeptical of the healthcare system at that point. And so I asked those women at the front desk, or the woman that answered, I was like, is he even good? Like, should I get this surgery here? Like, I don't even know.
Good for you for asking.
Because he had an opening. It was one of those things where like, sorry, you can either come like in 2 weeks and see him or like 3 months type of a deal. And so I said, okay, I'm going to ask this woman. I was like, is he even good? And she was like, we love him. Yeah. He is the most amazing human. All of his patients love him. We love him. And I was like, that is a fucking leader. Coming out of corporate America, when your team and your people will celebrate you like that, sold. And so I met with him and we made a plan. I got in queue, got the surgery, did a couple more tests. We ended up finding out that I had a 15 centimeter tumor, which is like about this size, in this ovary, and a 5 centimeter tumor in this ovary. The fucked up part was, you know how many doctors I had seen? And my doctor, Dr. Daniel Kowski, said, Tina, you are looking as if you were 16 weeks pregnant. You can see him in my wedding photos because the tumors were so big.
Oh my God.
It shouldn't have been missed. I literally had like the Mirena installed, and I remember it literally got pushed out within 24 hours, which is like literally unheard of. And I believe it was because like my ovaries, everything was so displaced. When we ended up having my final ultrasound, which was a devastating fucking experience. My very first time in that space, all these beautiful pregnant moms, and I'm in there to get my fucking tumors determined. Like, is there blood flow in these things? Are they cancerous? Wow. It was the pandemic, so my husband couldn't even come with me. I had to go all by myself. I mean, he like took me and dropped me off, but like, you know, like he couldn't come in there. It was absolutely insane. But Dr. Daniel Kowski saved me. I mean, before we went in, he was literally like, Tina, like, you may lose your ovary. So when you ask me at the top, how was my fertility journey? It's wild because if I wasn't a millennial and I wasn't in this like churn, like a lot of millennials are, like deep in the recession, working, starting our families later, and actually would have started my family probably on natural timing, like in my late 20s to early 30s, I would have had a horrific infertility journey. And I would have had no idea why the fuck I couldn't be pregnant, get pregnant, why I was struggling. And it was such a miracle, I guess, you know, that all of these things unfolded because I had a really successful surgery. It was supposed to be 90 minutes. It was 4.5 hours.
Why?
Because the tumors were so big, and to get them out, like he was trying to clean them out. And literally when they looked at my insides, my whole digestive tract was so displaced. That was why I was having so much of the GI issues, because he literally said your insides were like kombucha. You were fermenting.
Oh my God.
Because it couldn't move through anything. There was all these like just, you know, like crinkles that weren't supposed to be there. And so it was just a very complicated scene in there. And he also knew I wanted to have kids because typically the surgery, you're removing the ovaries. You don't want anything in your body that harvests tumors of this size. You want to pull that the fuck out, you know? And so because we hadn't started our family yet and he knew we wanted to have kids, he was just like on a rescue mission. But he delivered.
Not just for you, but for your two babies.
Yeah. And literally after this, it ends with such a happy ending. Like 3 months after my surgery, when we were cleared to begin trying, we conceived on the very first time.
Wow.
Very first time. Conceived.
Wow.
First try. Go Nate. Go Nate.
Is that your husband?
That's my husband. Shout out to Nate.
Go Nate and Tina.
Yeah.
What's your baby's name?
So my oldest is Kayla and my youngest is Zuri.
So beautiful. One of my son's very good friends is Zuri. She's delightful.
Oh, every little Zuri I've ever seen or met, they're like these little balls of joy and sunshine.
She has ADHD and she like dopamine dresses and she is just like, oh God, she just lights up every room. I love her so much, Zuri. Shout out to Zuri.
Shout out to all the Zuris in the world.
Yeah.
It does mean beautiful in African.
Does it?
That's what my husband told me. He picked it. So each name we've like collabed on. So Kayla, he picked Kayla, but it was with a K. And I was like, I want it to be with a C so we can both have the same monogram. And then I picked the middle name so we could kind of have that vibe. And then same with Zuri. He picked Zuri and then I picked the middle name.
I love that.
Because I like these like androgynous combos of
so
names.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you.
So you have a healthy pregnancy?
Totally healthy pregnancy. The first pregnancy, I was totally that annoying, euphoric pregnant mom.
Well, you had also just gone through this
hell.
Yeah.
So it was feeling good. It was just feeling good to transition. It was feeling amazing to have life in me. Kayla was my miracle baby. 110%. I was lucky to be alive. I was lucky to even have her. And my OBG was just beautiful throughout the whole experience. He was, they call it, like a hairy midwife, literally. He was more midwife than OBG, and he was absolutely incredible. And love him to the end. I'm literally like, I want to have 3, but I don't know how to do it because literally I had the same doctor for both. We delivered in the same room, which is wild. And so he's now retired. Oh. And so I'm like, I don't know what I can do.
You sound like he's your husband. You're like, I want to have 3, but I
don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can.
I'm so grateful his wife is so kind to me because I know I do talk about him like that. And he's so amazing.
He saved your life.
He saved my whole being.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. It sounds like this is like the heartbeat behind everything you do.
Because it was like all of that lack of education, lack of understanding. I think I had so much irregularity with my cycle. There would have been so many more warning signs ahead of this catastrophic health issue if I would have had so much more education. And so that's really what I believe is the power of rebranding motherhood. It's not just the unfiltered storytelling, which is critical because to help moms feel seen is major, but it's also giving them the education and the resources to then advocate and start checking the motherfuckers in their life, the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare givers, the people in their community start being your partner. Be like, that's not true. Actually, my body can do this. And guess what? I'm not going to go see you anymore as a provider. I'm going to go get a new one. And I hope that will save lives. I hope that'll keep people more safe and at least have people feeling like they're in safe care versus just with I hear so many people that are like, I don't even like my pediatrician. I don't even like my doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't go there. You can't go see them if you don't like them.
I do feel like we settle quite a lot as a society. Deep. There's a lot coming at us. Like you said, the recession was deep when we first graduated from school.
Right.
Then we had to go through COVID, major upheaval, political upheaval.
Yep.
Stuff going around the world. It's like a lot of the decisions we make are clouded by a lot of the stress.
Yeah.
And so, I hope that we as the storytellers can offer some, I wouldn't say guidance actually, but a way to redirect mothers back to themselves.
2,000%.
Do you know what I mean?
2,000%. I'll tell everybody that comes on my channel, I am not the expert. You will not come on my channel, see my content, see anything that I'm doing, and see me as the one and only authority. I like to curate people that I believe are doing the real work, that are going to be inclusive and holistically representative of the best information, the best research, and I'm going to share it with you. Because there's too many people in this space, specifically maternal health, that speak so singularly, that there is literally one way of seeing things, treating things, feeding your kids, taking care of your kids, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your baby.
They're trying to sell books. They're trying to sell programs. They're trying to sell personal brands. Yep. I have a hard time with it because some of those people are my friends.
I know.
Who I care deeply for. And they're very, it's hard because, when you feel very passionate about something and it does work for you, it is tricky. It actually is tricky not to just tell everyone how it should be. I fell into that trap early on in my motherhood where I was like, gentle parenting is the thing. Yeah. And you saw what I think about gentle parenting now,
Yep.
I think there's a better, more middle ground where we can actually be gentle to the parents as well.
That part.
But I think we are changing, and I think people like us who are willing to say, I'm not your guru.
No.
And in fact, you're your guru.
There it is. That is the magic. If you are out here in the maternal space, you need to be empowering mothers and caregivers and parents to be the village within themselves.
Yeah.
It's the only way to survive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We don't live in a culture, in a society anymore where even if you have all these people around you, when shit goes down, I feel like I can never find anybody. Even when I like have people, right? Like it's usually 3 a.m., 2 in the afternoon. I don't know. It's always just random times. And it's on you to garner the tools.
We are the adults of this world, actually, not just in our families, which, by the way, in our families and in our homes, that counts for a lot.
Yep.
But actually, like, our generation is the adult of this world. Our parents are old.
I know.
And our children are young.
Yes.
And we're the ones.
Having to do it all.
We are the ones. So when we disempower the mother, no. Like, it's a big no for me.
I agree.
Just to sell your book, just to sell your podcast, just to sell your whatever. I think my hope for this next leg of feminism is that we empower each and every woman. And I wonder if there's a way, how do we reach the pre-moms? When I first launched this podcast, I really was hoping that I could give a heads up to, our sisters who are coming up, who are curious about motherhood.
Gen Zers, baby.
But I don't know exactly how to reach them, before Tina has the tumor.
Yes.
How do I reach them? And this is just a hypothesis.
No,
I know
I love
you don't
it.
necessarily have this is just like me.
We're brainstorming. We're big sky thinking here. And I love it.
Together.
Because
you're a nerd.
I am a nerd.
I trust you.
I'm a deep nerd. You can go ahead and stamp me with that shit. I'm a rocket. Here's my hot take on the situation. I think the Gen Z demographic, they are skeptical in the best ways possible. They're this like common sense era where like they don't believe shit. You can literally like push so much shit out to them, and if it doesn't make sense in their brain, in their bodies, they're gonna reject it. They're really gonna reject it. It's wild because so many brands are really struggling with how to communicate with this demographic because it is very different than how to win and connect with millennials. And so I think the way to reach them is like their narrative that they're getting is that motherhood is hard as fuck. It's scary as fuck. It's unmanageable as fuck. And they're just like either opting out. They're like,
many of them,
they're like, I'm just not even gonna do it. There's like all different ways that's manifesting. And what I think is helpful for them is it's important for us to share with them the realities of it. But the more we can also complement that with educating them on our bodies, on how things work, resources, mental health, how to take care of their mental health. It's less of this like scary, unmanageable like situation. And it's more about what you're actually entering into so that you're actually preparing appropriately. We were not told the truth. We were told, I love to use this example. We were told like motherhood is not like climbing Mount Everest, but I like to say it's like people are selling stuff to us to say like being a mother is like climbing Mount Everest, but it's really like a light jog, like a loose walk. Like, those people in the mall that like, just like get their steps in and shit. Like that's what it's like.
Shuffling.
Yeah, like literally like a shuffle.
I went skiing in a mall, by the way.
Oh.
There's a mall in New Jersey with like skiing.
What?
I know. Malls are really big. So anyway, you can get a good jog in, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Get a good jog in. But anybody knows climbing Mount Everest, you are training for a year. You literally have to get a guide. I think I heard it costs over $50,000 cash just to be able to afford all of the gear, all of the equipment. That's not even the flight, but like all of the shit that is required to do that. And it's not even guaranteed safely, right? That is how we have to be talking about motherhood. We have to explain to people that this is what it's actually like.
And that it's an adventure, though. I think,
and it's an adventure. That it's not just all doom and gloom.
Right. That the same woman who's telling you this also wants a third child.
100%.
So I think there, I think there is something 100%. To that. You know, that like climbing Mount Everest feels great. You feel alive.
Yes,
we don't do things that are easy to feel the rush of aliveness.
You're right.
And I think that like if we I'm no expert in speaking to the Gen Z generation by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But just as like spitballing, just in the way of spitballing, I do think in the process of desanitizing motherhood and its messiness and its and all the things we need to prep for that ascent.
Yes.
It is an ascent.
Yes.
We have to recognize that there is inherent value.
100%. I can't agree with you more. This is one of the things, we talked a lot about this last night at the panel I did with Ula. And like really the top of the day, we started with the most beautiful thing of motherhood is this enlightenment factor. It's the most magical part of it. No one talks about that. But you can't get to that phase of transformational ascension without the resources, without the education, without the support.
Without the safety.
Without the community safety.
We talk about, maternal health.
Yes.
You got to survive the birth.
Girl.
And
the postpartum.
And yeah.
Like
but I mean like literally living.
100%.
There are things that we do need.
Yes.
Back to the Mount Everest climb. Like,
yes.
You need to live through it in order to feel good about, I did that.
Exactly. And a lot of moms aren't making through it. And a lot of moms of color are absolutely not making it at an alarming rate.
Can we talk about the numbers for a second?
Yeah,
just so we can.
Maternal health. Yeah, 100%.
What are the numbers of the percentage of women dying in birth?
I'm not, my brain is not 2,000% up on the quotes, and I like to cite vary on the number. But what I will say is we are dying at 3x the clip. I think it's like we're 3 times more likely to die in birth and labor. And a lot of that has to do with
are your white counterparts?
Exactly. There's a million reasons why that's happening. But a lot of those reasons we're talking about here, a lot of those reasons are because we're not getting the support. We don't even understand what power we have in the hospitals. Mm-hmm. People don't even understand the level of control and power you really have. Because the hospital systems, I mean, it's a business. Right? Like Abby and Ricky did the business of being born, okay? It's a very well-oiled machine that accrues a ton of revenue for hospitals, like each birth. And God forbid if a child has a NICU stay. I mean, it's insane. I was talking to a mom last night, and she said she got her bill. She had coverage. She had Medicaid support in New York. And she had a NICU baby in the NICU for 64 days. And she said her bill came back. She didn't have to pay it because she had the coverage, $1.2 million.
We don't talk about that enough.
Girl, do you know what I'm saying?
We don't talk about that enough.
Whoa.
And what if you don't have insurance?
And so all of those different things. And so we go into these systems, we go into these hospitals, and the nurses are shuffling us around. They're telling you got to get induced. They're not telling you can have an epidural. They're not doing all this stuff. And then we're becoming in harm's way.
And the epidural costs like thousands of dollars, by the way. I didn't want an epidural. And the first time I got it, I was like, wait, I have to pay for the thing I didn't want? Thousands. Anyway, because it's optional, but they don't tell you when they're gonna like stick the needle in you. Like, by the way, this is an optional fee. Like, blah, 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 blah. They're just like, anyway,
right? It's very much like that ride at the carnival where you're on like the little train and you're like going through and like seeing weird shit popping up and you can't get out. You're just like stuck in there.
You're in it.
You're just in it. You can't get out. You're just like, this is happening, and I don't like it. And so I think,
sometimes people do like birth, by the way. I'm sure you found that at ULA.
Birth is absolutely, my message is not that birth isn't great.
It can be.
It can be dangerous. It can be scary. It can be beautiful. It can be a loss, right? Like we don't talk enough about not every birth ends with a baby that lives at the end of it. We know 1 in 4 pregnancies ends in a miscarriage. We know that stillborns is literally a maternal health crisis, how much that is happening for people. And so nothing's guaranteed in that space. But I think helping people to know the power and helping people to reclaim the power that they actually have in creating their births from the start. Like just helping people educate, like you don't even have to have it in a hospital. Did you know? Like, did you know that? Like really nerding myself out. Is that Bill Nye that I'm quoting right now?
Did you have your children in a hospital?
I did, because I had Dr. Witt.
Oh, yeah.
And his team.
Back to your man.
Back to Dr. Witt, my other man. My other dude. I felt so comfortable and safe. I didn't even think twice. But now I really do feel like I missed out on like this whole home birth thing.
Oh, well,
That's
for your
beautiful.
third.
I know.
So now, Dr. Witt, so you see how the universe is always conspiring for you.
It's true. And I already have my doula picked out. She lives in New York City, so I don't know what I'm going to fucking do about that, but...
She's just move her up to Maine. Doulas love Maine. Come on.
I know. It's so relaxing.
It's so relaxing. It's so doula-ish.
It is. It's very doula vibes.
It's so
very
doula vibes.
Doula vibes, yes.
Oh my God, you're going to have another baby. That's so exciting.
I hope so. 3's my number. 33 is my lucky number. Like, I delivered both my girls in room 3. The operating room was room 3. It was exit 33 off the interstate to get to the hospital. Like, I see that number everywhere. And so I've just always felt like 3 would round it out. It's just such a beautiful thing when you get to expand your family. You know?
Yes, I do know. Okay, speaking of expansion, as we wrap up.
Yes.
What are you manifesting for yourself in your business and for the women you support? And if I may, for the women at large.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm holding all of your blessings.
All my
And I'm giving you the literal mic.
Let me take this mic.
Yeah. Looks good on you.
I'll start with manifesting for my business, RM Consulting, is I consider myself the agency of choice for any brand that's in the maternal health space, that's in the parenting space, that is in the reproductive health or reproductive justice space. Basically, if you're a brand that wants to talk with moms, for moms, about moms, come see me and let's work together. I am doing things differently, I promise. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you my list of clients and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So I'm manifesting that. I want to be fully booked out, not even know what to do with myself. I'm so booked. Let's say that. What I'm manifesting for my communities and the people I share space with and share community with and whole community with and whole community for me is that we continue to evolve in these conversations. I continue to get even more vulnerable and raw, that I continue to learn even more, that I continue to feel even more enriched, and that I can also share that back with people. It's this really cool symbiotic cycle because I have to heal too. This is not simple work. Like to give this much of myself to thousands of people and then be a mom and then give to myself. I mean, I had a PMAD with both of my children. So with my own mental health journey and experiences.
What was that?
I had a PMAD. I had a perinatal mood and anxiety disorder with both. So for those who don't know, you've probably often heard of it as postpartum depression. But that's really on the spectrum of a PMAD. So a PMAD is really the spectrum. And on one side, you have more of the depressive state. So that's where you would hear things like postpartum depression. Then on the other side of the spectrum is things more related to anxiety. So perinatal mood and anxiety and OCD would be on that side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And then there's levels of severity that happen within that. So think of that as like postpartum psychosis, which is super common and actually disproportionately common for women of color, is considered the most severe version of a perinatal mood and anxiety disorder. But the good news is all PMADs are 100% treatable. 100%. All of them. Even postpartum psychosis. 100% treatable.
Beautiful.
100% treatable. And
I've had a few people who have expressed that. I definitely had postpartum anxiety.
Yes.
That went untreated. But there have been a lot of guests who have sought help and found it.
Oh, 100%.
Even on the scariest end of the spectrum.
Oh, I mean, I've done so many interviews and talked with moms around postpartum psychosis. I did like this 5-part series in partnership with Postpartum Support International. Shout out to PSI. They're doing amazing stuff. For any mom that's listening, they have hundreds of free support groups, free virtual community and counseling and stuff for people. But even in the most severe, where you are literally like hallucinating, likely having to do inpatient care, likely having to be hospitalized, that is also 100% treatable.
Amazing. Was that you?
No, I did not have that. There was actually one of my friends who's a big advocate in the space. And then I also spoke with this amazing author, Aisha Alvi, who wrote this book called A Mom Like That, which is her memoir of her descent into postpartum psychosis, then coming out of it to now being an advocate.
Wow.
Beautiful story. But to your point, all of that starts and ends with understanding. Like, you have to know what you have to then go create a treatment plan to get better.
I know.
And when moms don't,
and who to go to?
That's when we lose moms, right? That's when we lose moms. That's when we have moms going through it too long, too hard. And we hear these horrific stories on the news about a mom doing horrible things to herself or horrible things to the baby just out of just not being well.
Yeah.
And not being treated.
You were saying that you wanted to make sure that you were taken care of, that your community is taken care of, that the next time you have a baby, we're on the blessings portion of this.
Yes, bring me back, girl. I forget. It's a heavy topic.
No, I love it so much. Well, just that you'll make sure to prep yourself before that lucky number 3.
Yes, this is really what I'm hoping and manifesting for myself, that I'm just continuing to evolve. And as I evolve, I can put more sprinkles and brilliance and magic out into the world and the community. And then for women as a whole, because I'm a mom of 2 littles.
Little girls.
Is that I want to continue to educate them. I don't know if we mentioned this, but my daughters can fully define for you what a doula is. They've already know they're having a doula. They've confirmed I'm part of their birth plan. They've confirmed exactly how they want to deliver. And my daughters are 6 and 3. The 3-year-old, doesn't know what's up and down. Yeah. But the 6-year-old is aware. And so that's what I hope for women today, tomorrow, and the future generations, is to have the lexicon, to be able to speak to what's happening in their bodies, to be able to speak to what's happening in their brains and their emotions, and to be able to advocate and make the changes and the shifts, whether that's from a career, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's in how you're going to support yourself. Fuck it, whether that's where you're going to live, but that you are able to do it because you know what you deserve.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being raw and vulnerable. I know, like, from the perspective of a community leader and, the CEO of your business, it's not always comfortable.
No, it's being uncomfortable a lot.
It's being the one to be held and heard in your pain, and in your ascent, as we called it. But I'm grateful. I really am so grateful. I know that there are so many people that you've already helped, and that there are millions more who will be touched by your beautiful, amazing spirit and your incredible mission. So a huge thank you just for being you.
Thank you. I mean, I'm going to fully receive all of that.
Good.
And say thank you for that.
Good.
Thank you, Daniella.
And thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on the Mom Curious podcast. All right, that was our time with the very brilliant Tina Cartwright at Rebranding Motherhood on Instagram. I'm sure you'll want to catch up with her there. I'm at Daniella Rabbani on Instagram and at Mom Curious. We're just building our following over there, so it would be really cool if we could get into it together. It means a lot to us when you rate, review, and share our work. And I just wanted to send you a big hug from Hoff Studios and a big thank you to Laura Lucetti. As always, please do an act of kindness today in honor of my sister, Ariana Rabbani Rappaporte. It means the world to me.